Hello everyone and welcome back to Planescape Torment. So we've just arrived in the lower ward. Mort has been taken. And yes, we've got Rose again.
Done.
Xanthia, you see a pretty young woman in fine clothes. Her skin lacks the usual yellow tint of the inhabitants of this ward. She appears to be watching three nearby creatures with interest. Greetings. She turns to face you and an annoyed look crosses her face. Yes? What do you want? I have some questions. Fine. He looks irritated. Who are you? My name is Xanthia. She looks you up and down, then frowns. Is there something else you want? What are you doing here? There's going to be a fight and I want to see it. She smiles wickedly. It should be interesting. Fight? Yes. See the three Thokala over there? She points to three hulking creatures with rippling muscles. They're going to try to kill an Abishai. She snorts. The stupid oafs. I've heard of something called an Abishai. What exactly is it? It's a lower plains creature. A Batezu, I think? She frowns in thought. In any case, Abishai have nasty dispositions, sharp claws that can cast spells. Very formidable. The Thokala look like they could take care of themselves. Normally, I would say yes. Thokala are very powerful warriors. She smiles slyly and leans in to whisper to you. However, I know something they don't. What might that be? Abishai can only be hurt by magic. Stickers. Thokala will be slaughtered. I have no doubt of it. She straightens up and watches the Thokala eagerly. How do you know they can only be hurt by magic? Gives you an annoyed look. My husband is very high up in the Harmonium. The Harmonium guards are trained to deal with creatures such as Abishai. He looks away. That's how I know. My husband told me. Why don't you warn the Thokala? Why should I do that? She smiles evilly. I'm the one who suggested the fight. Why? My husband tries to better his social standing with his underlings by drinking with them in the local taverns. Last evening, he forced me to just such an occasion. Those three oafs were there, boasting of their prowess as warriors. It was obvious they were in a drunken stupor. When they decided to leave, one of them tripped and fell into the table I was sitting at. She pauses. Go on. She frowns angrily. Most of the drinks at the table spilled into my lap and ruined a very expensive evening gown. So, while the cretin was trying to apologize, I whispered to him that I only accepted the apology of a warrior of stature. If he were such a warrior, he'd be able to defeat an Abishai in hand-to-hand combat. You're going to get them killed because they ruined a dress.
Updated my journal.
You obviously do not understand the intricacies behind this situation. She looks at you like you are an idiot child. I was embarrassed and humiliated in front of my husband and his underlings. She looks angry. I see, I have some questions. What can you tell me about this ward? Nothing. He looks about with distaste. Were it not for the fight, I wouldn't be caught dead here. Must be going now. Farewell. Sebastian the Mage. Hmm. Kina. This woman has yellow cast to her skin and severe features. Tattoos cover her body, and she wears a long blade at her side. Her eyes are like two small black pearls. As you approach her, they follow Dekon's movements. Before you reach her, Dekon breaks in. I would have you hear me. What is it, Dekon? It is my will that we not speak to this woman. Why not? She is a Zerth. Our wills are crossed blades. We have no common ground. Then do not speak to her. As you approach, she ignores you entirely. Dakon gives her a slight bow, which she ignores entirely. She loses a string of harsh words at Dakon, and he replies in a level tone. This only seems to infuriate her. What did she say? You need not translate for you. I will tell you. You are a human, wearing a shirt of scars and blood, unfit to hear the words of Zerthamon. You walk in the shadow of a pariah, yet he has persuaded me to allow you to hear me speak. I would know your will. I just had a few questions. Akali drowning. Ask and you shall be answered. What did you mean when you said I walk in the shadow of a pariah? You walk with a pariah and you know not his history? He is quick to speak other words, but of his history he has remained silent? Oh, Rose. Such a sweet little kitty. Ask him of Shrak Tlor, or of the fall of a mighty fortress to the Githyanki, and see what his divided mind reveals to you. Ask him how he speaks with Zerthamon's words, but his karak is as mist. It is not Zerthamon's words that lack conviction, it is their echoes that have been distorted. There is no doubt in how Zerthamon's mind is spoken. Generations of Zerth are as Rakma's jewel, of one mind on this matter. Your stance carries with it a divided mind. The doubt is yours, an echo cast from your own faithlessness. Your words speak not the mind of Zerthamon. They are shaped of angles and hate, as if molded from Gith's mind itself. You shall lie with the dead of Shraktlor in shifted chaos, for you see all with Vilquar's eye. Your mind is divided, your Karash weak. Stand in the way of the blades. As if sensing your intent, Dakon speaks to you without breaking the gaze he holds with Kina. Hold fast, you do not stand in the way of our blades. Let it go, Dakon. Dakon reluctantly lowers his blade. Kina stares at him incredulously for a moment, and then a sharp grin splits her features. The truth at last. Your mind is not divided. You are a slave to this human. He speaks with an anarch's authority to you, and you listen. Your mind is cast to Gith's mold, Kina. Let's go, Dakon. You have lost your way, Dakon. Know that I hope you find your path. I pity you. Farewell. You see a well-dressed, middle-aged man. He seems to be scanning the crowd with a practiced eye. He notices you approach and gives you a quick once-over. Greetings. He smiles at you and gives a barely perceptible nod. I am Byron Pickett, moneylender. May I help you? Moneylender. He nods again. Yes, I cater to the needs of merchants. Want to start a business, keep one afloat that's down on its luck, or perhaps expand a business? In either case, you come to me for the funds. He looks you up and down. I doubt that you are a merchant, sir, so what could I do for you? I have some questions. Besides, very well, make it quick. I'm missing a skull. Know anyone who'd want something like that? He shakes his head. Really? He sighs and looks away for a moment. I can assure you that your skull is beyond recovery. Forget it. Find a replacement. Why? Because it is likely that your skull is in the possession of the Master of the Bones, Lothar. If that is indeed the case, then it is gone. He shrugs. Where can I find this Lothar? He pauses for a moment. I have reasons, quite good ones I can assure you, not to point anyone towards Lothar. Now pike it, sod. He turns away. Back again? No, I've had enough of you to last a lifetime. I'll answer no more of your questions. Now pike it, sod. Guilt spur. Oh, Rose, such a sweetie. Oh, I love her. I'll let her nap in peace. You see a florid, boisterous man. He's shouting and carrying on like there's a war that's about to come through. Like he's got something lodged in his intestines. He's too excited about something to talk in a normal tone of voice. His rapid-fire delivery makes it difficult to understand him. Yo, sir, yo there, you look like you could use something. I'm not quite sure what it is yet, but give me time, and I'll have it figured out on the spot. You need rooms, I've got rooms. You need supplies, I've got supplies. What are you selling? Usable only by lawful good. Chaotic neutral. Lawful neutral, and I am still true neutral.
I'm gone.
See a tall man in plate armor. The armor is of unusual construction with spikes flaring from the shoulders, elbows, and forearms. Hold on. He nods at your approach, but then his eyes wander about the market. Good day, citizen. I am Guard Corvus. Greetings. How may I help you, citizen? He gives you a friendly look but glances over your shoulder. I have some questions. He nods to you. I will help you if I can, citizen. Looks about the market expectantly. I'm looking for someone named... who are you? Gives you a slight bow. I am Harmonium Guard Corvus, citizen. I help keep the peace here at the market. He glances about for a moment and looks at you. Tell me about the Harmonium. Our belief is simple. We are the light. We are the way. We are order. We are truth. We maintain and enforce order here in Sigil. We police the city. He looks about again. I'm looking for someone named Lothar, or the Master of the Bones. He turns his gaze on you and frowns. I would counsel you against disturbing Lothar, citizen. I doubt you really want to find him.
Updated my journal.
He frowns as he looks off into the distance. I'm a realist, citizen, as well as a Harmonium officer. As a realist, I know that there are those who are above the law. It is a fact of life. He pauses. Go on. Some people don't fear the law because of their connections in the city. Others due to their sheer power and the fear they instill in people. Lothar is a power to be reckoned with, citizen. He is untouchable, if you understand my meaning. I still need to find
Updated
him.
my journal.
He sighs as he looks about the market. Very well, citizen. His kip is somewhere south of here in a wrecked house. Good luck to you. Try to see what he's looking at. You glance over your shoulder and notice a young lady wandering about the market. Corvus seems to have his eyes locked on her. You seem preoccupied. What are you looking at? He snaps his attention back to you. I beg your pardon, citizen. Please excuse me. His eyes wander back to the young woman and his voice fades almost to a whisper. She has the voice of an angel and she is such a pretty young thing. He sighs. Why don't you go talk to her? You seem quite infatuated with her.
Updated my journal.
An uncomfortable silence fills the air. Finally, he turns his attention back to you. I just couldn't. I mean, a woman like that? Well, she must be. He sighs and pauses for a moment. Is there anything else I could help you with, citizen? Must be going. Farewell. Ah, okay.
I'm gone.
Cinder. You see a large, blustery merchant. He looks to be totally hairless, and his pale yellow skin is scarred as if from burns. Hold on. He looks at you intently as you approach. Greetings. He smiles at you. Greetings, I'm Cinder. I heard about you. You be the scarred, clueless fellow that be going around the wards asking questions. What could I be helping you with? You look like you have a few scars yourself. He frowns and begins to laugh. Aye, that I do. A few years back I had me a kip set up in the hive. Some barmy mage decided to burn the ward right out of Sigil. Almost took me with it. Sick for a month I was. Month? That's not all that long. He nods and gets a faraway look for a moment. Aye? It could have been worse. Local mage healed me, fixed the scars and all. Could have grown my hair back, but I kinda like the look. Do you think this mage could help me with my scars? He looks you over and then shrugs. I don't see why not. Your scars don't look that bad. He looks at you closely. Aye, now who's to say? You should talk to him yourself. Name's Sebastian, and he sets up his kip over by the foundry. I may do that. I have some questions for you. I need to buy some magic items. He gestures across the market. You be wanting Alec, then. He sets his kip up on the far end over by the furnace. Thank you. Farewell. Karina. You see a pretty young woman wearing simple clothes. She wanders about the market and examines everything, but does not make any purchases. You notice that people seem to be avoiding her, but they try not to make it obvious. She flashes you a warm smile as you approach. Greetings. Her smile broadens. Hello, I'm Karina. It's a pleasure to meet you, Cutter. She continues to smile and waits for your response. I have some questions. Alright. What do you want to know? I'm looking for someone named Lothar. She frowns. Lothar, I don't know anyone named Lothar. Can't recall ever hearing that name either. She gives you a concerned look. Did you say Master of the Bones? It sounds ominous, doesn't it? Why would anyone want to be known by that name? Well, to frighten people, I guess. She looks lost to thought as she taps her chin with a finger. Finally, she nods her head. Yes, I think you're right. It gives me the chills just thinking about it. Master of the Bones is a rather scary title. I don't think I'd mess with anyone who had a title like that. You think some more? Questions? Never mind. Farewell. You see an older man with long white hair and weathered yellowed skin. He stands tall despite his obvious age. Smiles and gives you a slight bow. I'm interested in what you have for sale. Severed foot of some large bird. Let me see your wares again. Hmm. Two to 5 piercing. Oh. Named character. See a young boy with pale yellow skin. His clothes are dirty and in need of mending. Currently, he's tending a furnace. Greetings. He turns and gives a half smile as he sets down his work. Ale, do you need some help? Aye, I'd be pleased to help you if I could. The boy looks grateful not to be toiling over the furnace. What is it I can answer for ye? Why does everyone seem to have yellow skin around here? It's the sickness that is, caused by the bad air. What with the smoke and all the factory smogs, you get pretty hard to breathe easily around here. He shrugs. Some days it's not good to be out when the smogs linger too long. They could scald your eyes right out of the skull, so it's said. Can something be done about it? I don't know. At times, winds come from the spire and blow the city clear of smog, but that's not as often as would be liked. He blinks, glances around, then shrugs. Ladies will, I guess. Don't make much sense, but then little does if you look at it long enough. Is there anything worth seeing around here? Alright. Okay. Who are you? Okay. Harmonian Guard Drixel. Snaps to attention. Our belief is simple. We are the light, we are the way, we are order, we are truth. Steals his expression. There wasn't even a question of me joining them. You see, some Burks talk about doing battle with chaos to restore order and harmony, but they haven't got the stones to do anything about it. The Harmonium, we take action. We keep order on Sigil streets and on the plains. He nods at you matter-of-factly. Go on. He looks even bolder as he speaks. And we don't keep order with words. We fight, and fight hard to maintain and enforce order. Cross-traders, Knights of the Post, Indepts, Anarchists, Zaustatex, Tenarii, Fiends, all had best beware the Harmonium's shadow. Chaos can only exist in an era of tolerance.
I'm gone.
Nazi. You see a sickly Githzerai woman. She is hunched and bent, and her constant coughing is obviously a source of pain to her. She holds a handkerchief that is practically soaking with blood, tissue, and phlegm to her face. She spies you and and hisses. Greetings. She stares at you and speaks a few mumbled words to Dakon. Dakon glances at you and says, she cannot understand your speech. She says she is dying. What's she dying of? Her name is Anazi. She says she used to work in a meat curing house here till half a month ago, when the illness became too much for her to bear. She was abandoned, evicted from her home, and left for dead. Speech pains her, and her illness has crippled much of her mind. She says there's nothing she could give you of value. And? Know that she will not recover. I could put her out of her misery, that is all. As a Zerth of the people, it is my responsibility to provide an alternative. Do not do it. We have other tasks. Dakon looks at you flatly and then turns to bow to the Githzerai woman as you leave. Dakon, put her out of her misery. She's obviously in too much pain and she will not survive much longer. Dakon draws his blade and waits for the woman to prepare herself. She touches the unbroken circle of Zerthamon he wears for a moment, and her face is stoic. His blade is a blur, and when he has completed the stroke, she lies bleeding on the hard stone of Sigil streets. Well struck, Dakon. Let's go.
Updated my journal.
Ye Min. This man has rough, leathery skin with a pale yellow cast and gaunt features. His face is angular, his nose is small and highly placed, and his ears taper to points. A tracery of tattoos and scars cover his body. He is dressed in strange, gaudy leathers that look more ornamental than combat-ready. His eyes are like two small black stones, and they track you as you approach. Before you reach him, Dakon pauses. I would caution you against speaking to this Githyanki. What's a
Updated my
Githyanki?
journal.
Githyanki and Githzerai were once of common stock. We were slaves and food for the Illithids, mind flayers, who devoured our lives in order to succor their own. One of our ancestors, the warrior queen, Gith, led us to victory against the Illithids, and we escaped. We have waged unending war on the Mind Flayers ever since. However, there was disagreement over the future of our people. Upon the blasted plains, our leader, Zerthamon, made the pronouncement of two skies, and steel was bared. One race became two. It is a rift that cannot be crossed peacefully. I'm going to speak to him anyway. Dakon nods. The Githyanki has been watching your approach and seems to ignore you entirely. Dakon, who wails on the walls of Shraklor, an unexpected surprise, draws his weapon. Dakon also draws his blade. Yimin, your blood shall corrode the flagstones of the street. Stand between them. Stop. Dakon speaks to you, though he never takes his eyes off his opponent. Hold fast and do not stand between our blades. Let it go, Dakon. Dakon speaks to the Githyanki. Yimin, this is not a place of battle. The entire multiverse is our battlefield, dog. There are no sanctuaries. There is no peace. You shall die. The Githyanki attacks. Attack. Shit. You see a boisterous auctioneer. He is very animated and does a lot of shouting, yelling, and stomping. Seems to have a tendency toward melodrama and makes a lot of strange facial expressions as he waves his arms. Glances at you and motions to the crowd that he's taking a break. Oh, 1,000 greetings do I bestow on you, sir. He does a double take when he notices your scars. You know, I take one look at you with my discerning eye, and I see a man on the market for some healing charms. Do you have any charms? He gives you a shocked look and gestures grandly at himself. Do I, Duran, have any charms? He pauses for effect. No, sir, I do not. However, don't let that fact discourage you. I have plenty of other items for sale. He points to the rear of the auction block where a group of people stands in chains. You sell slaves? He shakes his head. No, sir, these are indentured servants, not slaves. For the most part, they are guilty of minor crimes. The proceeds from their sale go toward paying their debt to the city. After their term of servitude, they will be free citizens once again. Still sounds like slavery to me. Gives you a bright smile. I don't concern myself with such thoughts. My task is to sell their contracts as given by the courts of Sigil. He lowers his voice as he leans in closer. And collect a percentage for my efforts, you understand. Straightens. You said they were guilty of crimes. What crimes did they commit? He shrugs his shoulders in an exaggerated way. I don't know for certain, but I would guess theft, assault, or not being able to pay their debts. Those are the most common transgressions. I see. He shakes his head. Little time for such wigwag, friend. There's dealing to be done. Speak quick. He gives you a look of mock concern. It would be a dangerous thing I'd be saying if I told you, friend. I have no wish to put you in jeopardy. I happen to like danger. Imperil me. He lets out a boisterous laugh. Very well, friend. Lothar is the master, the lord, of the famous Bones of the Night. The library where the dead themselves act as his repositories of arcane lore. All the dead of Sigil and the plains whisper secrets to him within his salon of skulls. Where can I find this place? Try south and east of the market section of the ward. You might come across a wrecked building, and you might find a ladder of bones that leads down, and it could be that that ladder will lead you to the Salon of Skulls. Nay, friend, I have no more answers for you. I have spoken more than I should, and in matters I should not. I must return to the needs of my customers. He turns away from you. I see. Farewell. You see a young woman who's trying to get your attention. She is wearing shoddy clothes, but her demeanor is one of elegance, unlike that of the people who surround her. Upon closer inspection, you notice that her skin is clean and smooth, lacking the yellow tint of the inhabitants of this ward. He notices your approach and smiles at you. Greetings. I thank the powers that you notice me. I am in need of the services of a mercenary. She pauses and examines you more carefully. If appearances are any indication, you would seem to be such an individual. What exactly is it that you want of me? He nods to you. The heart of the matter is that I am to be sold into slavery for a crime I did not commit. I am in need of a champion, someone who will help me prove my innocence and free me from this fate. He pauses and looks at you expectantly. Tell me exactly what's going on. He thinks for a moment. This is long in the telling, Cutter. Please bear with me. Go on. Hold on, 1 second. She sighs as she begins her tale. My husband died recently and left me his business. I am not business oriented, so I decided to sell. Not long afterward, I was contacted by a lender saying a loan on the business had not been paid. She pauses to gather her thoughts. Go on. I examined all the documents my husband kept and found that there had indeed been a loan taken, but it had just recently been paid in full. I explained this to the lender, and a few days later, he asked for a copy of the document. It was nowhere to be found. He looks concerned and pauses to think. Go on. Well, when I could not prove that the loan was paid, the lender took me before the court. My monies were taken and applied to the balance owed. Since it did not pay off the loan, I am to be sold on the block to try to recover the remaining amount due. Gives you a forlorn look. I think I've heard enough. Get to the point. I need someone to find the missing document, the one that proves the loan was paid. Or if you could purchase my contract, I could pay you back. She gives you a pleading look. I can't spend the next 5 years of my life in this ward, Cutter. It will kill me. Surely you've noticed the illness shared by all who live here? Yes, the yellow skin and coughing. She nods her head. Yes, Cutter, please. Can you find it in your heart to help me? She looks at you nervously. Please? Yes, I'll help you. I have some questions,
my
though.
journal.
She nods her head eagerly. Ask anything, Cutter. What's the lender's name? I know his name well, Cutter. After all I have been through, I will not likely forget it. She gets a faraway look and then shudders for a moment. Byron Pickett is his name. She pauses for a moment, and his associate may be someone named Lenny. Who is this Lenny? He thinks for a moment. There was a small, fair-looking man who came to court a few times. He would sit behind Pickett and whisper to him occasionally. Pauses and looks lost in thought. Go on. She frowns. I remember him because he always seemed to be uncomfortable in his clothes. He would pick at them as if they were new, as if he were not used to wearing them. She pauses again. On one such occasion, Pickett told him to sit still and stop fidgeting. He called him Lenny. Where can I find Lenny? She thinks for a moment and then shrugs. I'm not sure, actually. My husband told me that some ruffians could be found southeast of the market, near the siege tower, I believe. I must be going now. Farewell.
You there! Bid on the slave! Let's hear it! How much for this one?
All right.
See a hulking man. Hold on. Dull-faced and slack-jawed. His muscles, however, are truly a sight to behold. He regards you steadily with his dead eyes. What? Who are you? No talk me, talk Lena. He waves his oak-like arms to the woman's supervisor. All right. You see a middle-aged woman, her face care-lined and compassionate. She looks like she's led a hard life. Can I help you with something, stranger? Who are you? I'm Lena. I supervise these other two. She waves a hand at her companions. What is it you do here? This is a storehouse. I'm the supervisor. Things get stored here. Things get taken out of here. She shrugs. Not much to tell, really. I see. Vault of the Ninth Ward. No, girl. No. Oh, okay. Good girl. Yes. What are you? I am the voice of the Vault of the Ninth World. I am here to serve you, the customer. Instruct me in what you desire. I'd like to claim something. What is it you were looking for exactly? Nothing. Farewell. Farewell. We at the Vault of the Ninth World value your business. Please return. You see a thin, skulking man. His long, nimble fingers quiver slightly, and he has trouble meeting your eyes when he talks to you. You startled me. I haven't seen you around here before, stranger. What do you want from me? Who are you? I'm Kunal. I work here. What is this place? Okay.
I'm gone.
The purpose of this device is unknown. It appears to be some sort of drawbridge-like contraption. In its lower position, this drawbridge would give attackers access from the siege tower to the walls of a city or keep. Oh. You see, you're at Grosuk. You see a reptilian creature with a snake-like body, 4 clawed feet, leathery wings, and a draconian head. Scales covering its body are a vile shade of green. The creature stands upright on its hind legs, bouncing with its prehensile tail. You approach its eyes near its slits, it begins to hiss. Let me... Greetings. The air around the creature begins to radiate heat and its scales take on a pale sheen. It gives you a hungry look and appears ready to strike. Suddenly it releases a flurry of hisses and relaxes its stance a bit. Sss, go. Grossuk no talk. Told wait. Sss. It glares at you as its tail lashes back and forth. What kind of creature are you? Every muscle on the creature seems to tense as it releases a storm of hisses. It starts to reach for you, then stops. Hate drips from its eyes when it speaks to you. Grossuk no talks. Lucky you. You go while still lucky. You stay. Grossuk shred. Sebastian sent me. The creature relaxes quite a bit and the air grows cooler. It holds out a clawed hand to you. Give Grossuk information. He looks at you expectantly. What information? It's hard to read facial expressions on a reptile, but you are certain that Grossuk is rather annoyed with you. His tail begins to lash furiously and the air grows warm again. No question. Give Grossuk information or die. Grossuk then take information from body. Actually, Sebastian sent me to kill you. Without a moment's hesitation, the creature lunges at you.
Die.
Sebastian smiles at your approach. Good day, Cutter. Have you completed your quest? Yes, and I've come for what is due me. One moment, please, Cutter. Sebastian reaches into his robe and removes a small crystal ball. He gazes into it for a moment before returning his attention to you. Cannot thank you enough, Cutter. I shall live up to my part of the bargain. Are you ready? Yes. It is done, Cutter. Once again, I thank you. Sebastian bows deeply to you. Thank you and
Updated my
farewell,
journal.
Sebastian. Hmm. Can't determine what this odd device is.
Dagger's not working in this thing. Dagger's not working in this thing. My lungs feel like a chimney.
Done. Done.
Stark recess. Okay.
Done.
Korur. See a middle-aged man wearing dusty clothes. He does not appear to be in the best of health. His skin is pale yellow, and you see an occasional pustule along his arms. Greetings. He turns and glances at you from behind hollow eyes. His eyes narrow in suspicion as he continues to glance around. What do you want? His voice is raspy. I have some questions. He turns his attention to you. Why are you bothering me for? I look the part of a tout? You seem to be a knowledgeable individual that I can learn from. He sighs. What you be wanting to know? Are you feeling alright? Nothing a few years of death won't cure. He coughs and looks up. Air's been getting worse in the war of late. By my reckon, it should level out once the great foundry settles, or a wind blows through from the spire. What was that about the winds? At times, winds blow in from Sigil's spire, drive the smog out. He glances up and coughs. For a while. Only about this foundry. Center of the ward, pretty much. Look for the stacks. Them godsmen make a bunch of things out of iron. Nothing fancy, but they work. Add to the bad air, too. Godsmen? The believers. Have their kip in the great foundry, banging and singing, chanting their barmy silliness on being powers the next 10 upon 10 and a bunch of other 10 lifetimes. He rolls his eyes and spits a brown mass from his mouth. All they do is suffer and slave and work. I slave twice as hard, and no way am I going to be any sort of power. You understand me, Burke? He laughs hollowly. I must be going. Farewell.
All right.
Oh, right. Right. See Baron Pickett, the moneylender. Back again? I have some questions. I want to talk to you about Trist. Ah, Trist. He frowns and looks away. After a moment, he looks at you and raises his eyebrows. What about her? I'm trying to find a missing document for her. He sighs and shakes his head. There is no missing document. That was a ruse instigated by Trist to cast doubt on her debt. This matter has been thoroughly investigated by the Mercy Killers, and they found no evidence of any such document. The Mercy Killers? Yes, a faction of fanatics dedicated to uncovering the truth in criminal cases and handing out justice. They are often used as investigators by the courts of Sigil. They are quite thorough, and they found nothing. He glares at you. They could have missed something. That is a possibility. But not very likely. You obviously are not familiar with the Mercy Killers or their methods for you to make such a statement. If they could not find the document, then it does not exist. He looks at you angrily. Someone could have stolen the document and then destroyed it. That way the loan would be paid
Updated
twice.
journal.
For a moment he looks as if he's about to be furious with you, then a gloating smile crosses his face. What a terrible thought. Pity there's no proof of any such activity. He continues to smile at you. Yes, a pity. So tell me, why have Triss sold into slavery? Couldn't she pay you your money in the form of a loan? Yes, she could, and I did make that offer to her. He looks at you sternly. However, she turned me down. I don't allow second chances. No one turns me down without suffering the consequences. No one. I see. I'll be going now. Farewell. You see a feral-looking young man in shoddy clothes. His eyes dart around about as he scans his surroundings. He notices your approach and begins eyeing you warily. Greetings. He looks you up and down, then glances about. Returning his attention to you, he gives you a wicked grin. You'd best have a good reason for disturbing Lenny, Burke. I have some questions. He laughs at you. I ain't no tout. If you've got questions, go find one. His smile broadens. You'd best push off before I have to bleed you. What if I told you Byron Pickett sent me? He stops smiling and examines you for a while. His eyes linger on your scars and he swallows slightly. After a moment, a frown settles on his face and he appears to be nervous. Pickett sent you? Why? He said you could answer some questions. He frowns. What questions? You notice he looks rather tense. I want to ask you about the papers you stole from Trist. He swallows hard and stares at you. You notice his muscles tense and it looks like he's ready to run. He puts one hand on his hip in a nonchalant manner, but you could tell he's wound tight as a spring. I don't know what you're talking about, Burke. You'd best be off. Smile wickedly. You know what I'm talking about, Lenny. Byron had you steal some papers from Trist. I'm here to collect them. He swallows hard and the corner of one eye starts to twitch. He glances at the scars that cover your body, then tries to meet your gaze, but cannot. Collect them. I destroyed the papers after I nicked them, just like Byron told me to. Finally meets your gaze. Really? Then why are you so nervous, Lenny? Let me guess. Byron thinks you destroyed the papers, but maybe you didn't. Maybe you kept them. A little blackmail material, perhaps? He stares at you for just a moment, then suddenly turns to run. Grab him before he gets away. Just as he starts to run, you leap forward to grab him. He deftly steps out of your reach and begins to sidestep you. Seeing your quarry about to escape, you make another, more desperate lunge at him. You fail to grab him. You fail to grab him, but you do manage to bump into him hard, knocking him off balance. Your efforts foil his escape. Alright, I didn't destroy them. I'll give them to you. Just let me go. Why did you keep the money? Blackmail, I assume? He snorts and gives you a defiant look. I kept them so I could turn stag on your boss Pickett and keep Trist off the block. He shakes his head. Blackmail my arse. By the way, Pickett is not my boss. He stares at you in disbelief. You serious? I thought, but you said. He watches you closely for a moment and then laughs. You gave me the peel so I'd spill the chant to you. He shakes his head and looks at you with respect. Good job, Cutter. Let's go get the papers, Lenny. He shakes his head sadly. You can't. They're in the warehouse and they're not open for business right now. Rumor has it there's some sort of management change going on, but I don't know if that's true. In any case, I can't get the papers. He looks at you sheepishly. That's why I haven't helped Trist myself, Cutter. I can't get the sodding papers. I'll look into this and get the papers myself then. Smiles at you. Go to the warehouse and tell the clerk I'm here for a loan and he'll give you Trist's papers. If you then tell him I gave Pickett the laugh, he'll give you a bonus. What bonus? He laughs. Evidence, Cutter. It'll take Pickett off the streets for a long, long time if you give it to the right person. He thinks for a moment. If there's someone in the harmonium you think you could trust, give it to them. Alright, farewell.
Updated my journal.
This ruined wagon is quite useless.
About 100, he's not worth 50.
I'm looking. Okay. Okay. If you want something here, go check in with the head at the door. Twice welcome to the Vaults on the Ninth World. How may I serve you on this fine day, Sigillian? I'd like to claim something. And what is it you were looking for exactly? I was told to tell you that I gave Pickett the laugh. I certainly hope so, sir. Whatever that means, I'm just a big dumb rockhead. Here are your papers, sir, and here. Thank you. What could I do for you?
All right.
You see Darren the auctioneer. He smiles at your approach. Well met again. What can I do for you on this glorious Smallgrin day? I want to ask you about Trist. He frowns for a moment, then shrugs. Very well, sir. What about Trist? I have proof that she is innocent of any crime. He smiles broadly, then laughs. Very well, show me this evidence. He holds out his hand to you. Give him the document. He opens the document and quickly scans its contents. After a moment, he sighs, then folds the document and puts it inside his shirt. It seems the courts owe Lady Trist an apology, sir. From this moment, she is free, and I will make all the arrangements to have her status of property returned to her. Thank you, Duran.
Updated my journal.
No, thank you. It's a rare individual who will do what you have done. He bows to you. Excuse me, I must speak with Lady Trist. Farewell. He begins walking toward Trist.
What are you talking about 100? He's not worth 50.
How much for the child?
Trist smiles at you warmly. You are my savior, Cutter. I will forever be in your debt. I was happy to help you, Trist. Thank you, Cutter. She glances about and then pauses to think for a moment. You have saved me from certain death, Cutter. A slow, painful death. She frowns as she thinks. Please wait here. I shall return shortly. She turns and walks away. Alright, Trist. You see Trist approaching. She smiles and waves at you. Hello again, Cutter. Thank you for waiting. She looks about for a moment, then removes a purse from the folds of her dress. With the document you have provided, the courts will restore my status of finances. This is not much, but it is a well-deserved reward for what you have done. She hands you a purse. Thank you, Trist. She smiles. No, I thank you. Farewell, Cutter.
You know, I've learned some new tricks.
Look at this vine. Strapping slave. Look how strong he is. What do I hear? Do I hear 120? 130? Sale. This was special. Only 100. What am I in? What am I in, you, sir?
Corvus feels like he could be trusted.
I like that.
I'm gone.
That one's twice the price. Take the set. I'll take these two.
You see Cora. Okay. Do you know someone named Byron Pickett? He frowns and nods his head. Yes, I am familiar with Byron. I have evidence that proves he is involved in criminal acts here in Sigil. He looks at you with interest. Oh, may I see this evidence? Give him the
Updated
papers.
my journal.
He examines the papers thoroughly, then folds them and puts them away. He nods to you and smiles. Excellent work, citizen. These documents are quite detailed in their content. I personally will see to it that Byron Pickett is taken before the courts. He salutes you and turns to leave. I shall return shortly. Soon returns and smiles at you. The deed is done. Pickett has been removed from the streets. The evidence has been presented to the courts. Soon he will stand trial. He gives you a slight bow. Once again, I thank you.
What's this then? Tell me your money. Disgusting. That one's twice the price.
Ah, you've seen it. Greetings. She looks you up and down and frowns. I don't associate with unsavory individuals. From the look of you, you fit that category quite well. Off with you, Burke. I ask the questions. Her frowns deepen and she puts her hands on her hips. I don't care, Burke. Leave me be or I'll call the guard. Very well, farewell. Guards, guards!
right.
This huge creature stands over 9 feet tall. Rippling muscles support its massive frame. It seems to be engaging in conversation with two similar creatures next to it. Greetings. He turns to greet your greeting and begins to look about. After a moment, he looks down and notices you. A look of confusion crosses his features. What you want of Zerb? I have some questions. He gives you an apologetic look and shakes his head. Zerb not speak language well. Sorry, you talk Thorpe. He gestures to one of the creatures next to him. Okay. He looks down at you and gives you a friendly smile. What you want, Smalley? I have some questions. You got question, maybe Thorpe got answer. He smiles at you. I've talked to Xanthia. You said you're going to fight an Abishai? He smiles and nods at you enthusiastically. That right, Thorpe and friends, Barsh. Warn him. I've learned that Abishai can only be hurt by magic weapons.
Updated my journal.
He gives you a worried look. Need magic? How you know? I've talked to Xanthia. She told me. He seems confused at first, then a look of realization appears on his face. Xanthia play Thorpe for a coney. She lie, try get Thorpe and friends dead. I'm afraid so, Thorpe. He nods. Xanthia not deserve apology. Thorpe free from debt to her. Yes, you are free of your debt. Thorpe, thank you. You save life. You save life of friends. He turns to the other Thakala and speaks to them hurriedly. After a moment, all three bow to you and each hands you a pouch of coins. Thank you. He smiles. You good friend. You deserve. I must be going. Farewell. Sees Xanthia. She gives you a look filled with hatred. You warned the brute, didn't you? Yes, I did what I felt was right. She nods her head slowly. I will not forgive this insult. Good day to you. She turns and leaves. Okay. This appears to be a ladder constructed from the bones of many creatures. The unusual window allows sunlight to filter into the room. It casts strange colored shadows across the walls and floor. Shelf of skulls. Thank the powers you're here, Chief. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. What are you doing up there? Those were-rat vermin nicked me and brought me here. Come on, boss, we gotta get out of here. This place is bad news. Why don't you just float down? Can't, I've tried. Come on, get me down before... A flash of light and smoke blinds you for a moment, and a withered old man stands before you. Have we visitors, Skull? Oh, no. Mort whispers furiously to you. Do not offend this blood, boss. He'll deadbook you faster than you could spit. The old man ignores Mort. Greetings, traveler. Who might you be to enter Lothar's humble saloon without invitation? My pardon, sir, but you seem to have something that belongs to me. Ah, yes, what might that be? My friend Mort wound up on your shelf. You want the chattering skull with half the grace and manners of any ordinary creature? Give me a greater skull in return if you wish it back. Lothar replies, I do not need to bargain for something that is already mine. Where can I find a greater skull? Move aside the divan in the center of the room and pass through the portal on the eastern wall in the chambers below to the catacombs. The portal will remain active for your return. In the catacombs, many skulls. One of great value lies within the interred crypts of the Dustmen, beyond the drowned nations. Bring that skull to me, as my were-rat minions have failed to do, and I will see to it that your friend is returned to you. Perhaps I shall even answer some questions for you. I've been to the tomb you speak of. It is
Updated my
empty.
journal.
What is the meaning of this? The tomb was so well trapped, so well defended. Oh. The tomb was so well trapped, so well defended from scry magics that it was a challenge even for me. There must be some explanation for this, and he draws out his words angrily and slowly. You will provide it to me. Go through the portal in the chambers below and seek the answer. It was my own tomb. Your tomb? Your tomb? He eyes you carefully. We shall investigate this more carefully. Fetch me another skull, then, as you seem attached to yours. We shall see what answers I can provide. Our agreement shall be as before. Do not try to deceive me with just any bone, however. With just any bone, either. I am something of a connoisseur. Return when you have something of value to me. Very well.
Updated
I
my
feel
journal. Stronger.
I have the skull of Sogo, the Were Dustman missionary. I knew holding on to that would be good. Lothar takes the head of Sogo from you and examines it carefully, checking the teeth. Dustman, missionary, and spy, eh? This will be satisfactory. His fingers twist through an arcane gesture. Your friend will be waiting for you above ground where you came in. Have your answers from me. I have many questions. Keep it quick, Scarred One. I cannot tarry all day. Why am I
Updated my
immortal?
journal.
Your mortality, your soul, if you will, that which allows you to live and die, is gone from you. It was stripped from you by magical means, by the night hag Ravel Puzzlewell. Your mortality is the key to your existence. When you find it, you will find your answers. Tell me about this Ravel. Ravel Puzzlewell is an enigma. Even among the night hags. Some would call her balmy, others say she plays a deeper game than any could see through. She is evil, through and through, making the fiends you'll see in the area seem positively divine when compared to her. She's out of the reach of men now, thank the powers, for she was mazed by the Lady of Pain. Mazed? How do I find her? Mazes are like pocket dimensions, small places between places. To reach one, you need to find a portal and a key. Do not know where the door or the key are. Perhaps you should seek some of your old acquaintances. You have certainly left a trail of them behind. They will find you, no doubt. Pray they mean you well. Perhaps you should visit the Civic Fest Hall. They have many answers there. What did Ravel
Updated my
do?
journal.
She was a maker of toys and puzzles, a solver of problems that didn't need solving. She decided that Sigil, the cage, was the largest puzzle box of all, and set herself to undo it, to let in the armies of fiends at her disposal, no doubt to upset the balance of the city and turn the entire burg into a charnel house. Pray to any power you hold dear with thanks she did not succeed. I will find her then and force her to return my mortality. Farewell.
All right.
what's eating you, Chief.
What do you know about the night hag Ravel? Well, she's a night hag, and she was definitely barmy enough to make you immortal of all people. I mean, she could have chosen me. Mort rolls his eyes. Still, anyone old enough to lock blades with the Lady of Pain isn't someone you really want to find. Alright then, let's go.
Done.
You see a tall, slender man with a glassy-eyed expression. He seems engrossed in some tale that the shopkeeper is relating. Occasionally he nods his head but makes no comments of his own. Greetings. The man turns slightly at your greeting, just enough to acknowledge your presence. You notice that he's a little pale of complexion and rather gaunt-looking. He is giving you a blank stare. The shopkeeper does not seem to notice any of this, continues with his stream of useless prattle. Are you all right? The man continues to stare at you and slowly nods. You wait for any further response, but he says nothing, only stares. You're about to turn away in frustration when you think you notice a strange musty odor about the man. Step closer and sniff. You lean in and sniff at the man, unsure what you'll find. As you do, a musty odor fills your senses. An odor you recognize from your time in the mortuary. It is the smell of dead flesh preserved by magic. You're a zombie, aren't you? The creature continues to stare at you blankly. Slowly, as if with great effort, he begins to reply to you. Only your speak with dead power makes him understandable. Yes, I am Dimtree. Why are you here, Dimtree? Dimtree slowly glances at the shopkeeper and makes a feeble gesture toward him. Seeing this as a sign of interest, the shopkeeper redoubles his efforts in telling whatever tale he is relating to the poor creature. Dimtree looks at you again. Amorous. He talks. Amorous never stops. Wanders town. Annoys Master. Annoys everyone. Master create Dimtree. Tells Dimtree talk Hamrus. Now Hamrus stay in shop. Master happy. Town happy. Dimtree sad. Is there anything I can do to help you, Dimtree? The creature pauses, then resumes his slow speech with you. You can almost detect a pleading tone in his voice. Yes, find Master, Sebastian. Ask him release me. Please. Turns his attention to Hamrus momentarily. Please.
I'm gone. Done.
Oh. Sebastian's not gonna talk to me. You see a rugged-looking, square-jawed man. He turns to you with a wide smile. How are you, Cutter? Good day to you. Good day indeed. He squints at you for a second, then juts his hand out to shake yours. Greetings. Amorous at your service, member of the Harmonium and the fashioner of fine coffins for the recently departed. I think I know you, do I not? Let me see if I could place it. Pauses to think a moment. Sharp with names, I was in the Harmonium, let me tell you. Knew everyone on the entire ward. I have some questions. Dimtree turns to face you. You help, please? You find Sebastian? Release me. Yes, I'll help
Updated
you.
my journal.
You can almost sense a feeling of relief emanating from the zombie. Dimtree, thank you, friend. Okay.
Done.
Actually, I want to talk to you about Dimtree. He stares at you for a moment and then sighs. What about Dimtree, Cutter? He wants to be released from his curse. He gives you a surprised look and then waves you off. I find that hard to believe, Cutter. Dimtree doesn't have the mental power to desire anything. Frowns for a moment. Did that idiot Hammer's put you up to this? Think about it, Sebastian. Hammers doesn't know Dimtree is a zombie, let alone who created him, right? His eyes then seems to be deep in thought. Yes, you're right, of course. Hammers could not have sent you. I guess poor Dimtree is more aware than I intended. A pox on me for my stupidity. So will you release him? He looks at you for a moment with conflicting emotions crossing his face. He sighs and throws his arms up in exasperation. I cannot. Sorry. He gives you a pleading look. I want to, mind you, but I cannot. I fulfilled a contract by creating Dimtree, and I cannot break it, right or wrong. I am a man of my word. My reputation demands it. I don't really give a rat's arse about contracts. What you did is wrong, and he needs to be freed. That would be difficult. He turns and begins to look through a nearby box. After a moment, he removes the book which he sets down in front of you. First, you'd have to have some magical aptitude. Second, you'd have to be able to properly speak the words you find on page 23 of this book. Go on. Last, you'd have to touch Dimtree just as you feel the power of the words culminate within you. He turns his back on you and rummages through another box. I couldn't allow you to read that book, however. It'd be tantamount to my breaking my word through the actions of another. He continues poking through the box, ignoring you. Read the book and
Updated
leave.
my journal.
He's doing the best he can, I guess, within the bounds of the rules that he's forced to follow. Dimtree turns to face you slightly as you approach. You can feel a sense of expectation in the air about him. You find master? Dimtree release? Yes, Dimtree, I now know how to release you. Dimtree turns to face you and gestures towards you. Please, friend, speak the words Sebastian taught you. You pause to gather your thoughts and then carefully speak the words Sebastian taught you. You then reach out and touch Dimtree lightly on the forehead. Rest well,
Updated
Dimtree.
my journal.
With a sigh, the zombie collapses at your feet. You think you hear a fleeting, "Thank you, friend," as he falls to the ground.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Print shop. Oh, right, and the the forge. Scofflaw pen. You see a thin, stooped man hunched over a desk, scribbling on a piece of paper. His hair is thinning and drab, drawn back into a ponytail, and thin spectacles adorn his hooked nose. His age could be anywhere from his early 20s to his late 40s. Doesn't look up as he speaks to you. What do you want? Make it quick. What do you do here? He looks sharply at you, ceasing the scritching of his pen. Are you entirely dim? It's a printing shop. I print things here. Look around you. I print. What do you print? Books, pamphlets, handbills, words, letters, whatever, he amends, though I don't do racy prints, and I won't fulfill any perversions you might want, nor do I care to ask. Questions? Do they have to do with work? Are you the one who wrote this note I found in the mortuary? Oh, Penn's note. He takes the note from you, looks it over, and crumples it into a ball, which promptly crumbles into ash. He looks at you levelly. Someone's been defaming my good name, it seems. Now, did you want something? Aren't you worried about that defamation? Why would I be? It's just competition in Sigil. I've got a good idea of who it might be, too, and I've got a little surprise of my own coming for him. Can I be of any assistance? Are you truly as stupid as you look? Of course not. Don't take that tone with me. He waves his hand, and you find yourself outside a shop. What the?
All right.
Oh dear, have you come to threaten me again? He seems supremely unconcerned. Transport me like that again and I'll kill you. Waves his hand. Okay.
Done.
Damn it.
I want 'em all. How much for the bunch of 'em?
What did Penn's note say?
Get your slave over here! Two for the price of one!
Okay.
Come on, we got a special on slaves. Use them for whatever you will. They're right over here. Step right up. Let's hear it. How much for this one?
Godsman guard. You see a burly, bored-looking guard. State your business, please. Who are you? I am a guard of the Believers of the Source, sir. Believers of the Source? Yes, sir. Godsmen, we're called. Why? We are one of the 15 recognized factions of Sigil, sir. We believe that every being has within it the spark of divinity, neither good nor evil necessarily, but potential to be divine. Beyond divinity, we believe there lies something greater. We believe all life has a purpose and a goal, and we are devoted to understanding what these goals are. We strive toward greatness with every step in our lives. Good for you. Are you going to let me in? State the nature of your requirements, sir. I'm here to pick up an order. Yes, sir. May I receive the receipt? No. Then I'm afraid you'll have to leave, sir. Hmm. What are you doing? Right. I have more questions. You are in front of the Great Foundry. Home to the believers of the Source. What is the Great Foundry? Aside from being home to the believers of the Source, it is also one of the largest foundries known to mortal existence. Much traffic passes through these gates. We take orders from all across the plains. Currently, we are not accepting any further orders, as most of our craftsmen are either working on a new project or are commissioned for the next several months on smaller orders. What this means in practical terms is that you're not getting in here unless we have a receipt for work to pick up or have urgent business inside. Leave.
What are you talking about a hundred? It's not worth 50. Come on, you there. What are you bidding?
I'm gone. I'm gone.
Kandrian. You see a soft-looking man with gentle, far-staring eyes. He dresses in supple leather clothing and carries various implements of use and destruction about his body, such as ropes, spikes, tinderboxes, and empty vials of air. He looks half gone, literally. There's an insubstantiality to his existence, as if his essence had been partially leached away. He focuses those eyes on you, and suddenly you find them gripping and determined. Greetings to you, O Seeker. Greetings. Carefully sets down the mug he's holding and gives you all his attention. I have seen the far reaches of the multiverse and returned to tell the tale. I have walked upon the bodies of dead gods and spun moonbeams in the astral ahead of 1,000 freaking Githyanki nights. I have passed the edges of existence and watched my essence shiver away before me. What is it I can do for you? And some questions? I met a woman named Ingress with very bad teeth. She said she had come through a portal from some world that was opened by a tune hummed near two crossed trees. Can you get her home? He pauses briefly, thinking. I know the portal of which you speak, though I have not traveled it these 30 years gone. I will take her home, Seeker. Go tell her to await my arrival. Then meet me back here, and I will tell you if I was successful or not. Thanks.
Updated my
Farewell.
journal.
Oh, wait.
Right.
She was in here, if I remember correctly. Oh, no, it's not her. This woman's face looks broken and she is covered in scars. They look like bite marks and fingernail cuts. She is cradling the shreds of several rags in her hands and is staring emptily at the wall of the monument at the names there. Greetings. Sst, get you back. Woman's teeth peel back, displaying a row of black canines. What you want of Sevtai? What's the matter? What's wrong? Those chaos men wrecked my cart, attacked me and killed 3 of my sisters who tried to stop them. Not sisters anymore. Nowadays, nothing but names on this memorial wall. Chaos Men? Chaos Men. A faction, they says. What they are is an addled bunch that runs wild through the hive and does whatever's they please. We never did no harm to them. Then they lope in like dogs and tear apart anything within their reach. Who are these Chaos Men who attacked you? They're a hiver gang, a bunch of addled sods that call themselves the starved dogs barking or some such barmy nonsense. Their actions were unjust. If you wish, I can see that the matter is rectified. If 3 deaths they cause, then 3 deaths shall these starved dogs suffer. Copper earring in your purse if you pen 3 of those murdering sods in the dead book, right? I'll see to it that they're put in the dead book. Can you tell me where they might be found? Go out the south gate, spireward from here, then walk around the block until you come to a place where men run in circles, howling at the Sigil sky. There's the starved dogs. They are. Yeah, I've been to that block. It's the one with all the harlots and drunks south of here. I'll go there and return shortly.
Updated my journal.
Ingress. There you are. You see Ingress. She is huddled inside her cloak of dirty rags, her teeth chattering. She is glancing furtively about her as if expecting to be attacked at any moment. Greetings, Ingress. You? She squints at you. What is it you want from me now? You wanted me to leave? Not leaving this city, so I'm not. I can't try it. It's not a city. It's a prison to everywhere. Ingress, I found someone who can take you back to your home plane. Ingress falls silent. I want to go. Want to leave this place. His name is Candrian. He should be along shortly to help you. Trust him, all right? Ingress says nothing. Merely nods quietly, her teeth chattering inside her mouth. I'll go back and meet Candrian at the smoldering corpse bar and make sure everything turned out all right. Be strong,
Updated
Ingress.
my journal. I'm gone.
Rock sings true.
Maurice, you see a young woman dressed in a tight leather bodice and leggings. She smells faintly of cheap perfume, and her face, though pretty, is painted with garish makeup. She smiles coyly as she sees you. Seeking some company, love? Are you by any chance Maurice? She stares at you silently for a long time, then speaks. I was called that once, long ago. Who are ye? I was sent to find you by Nod, your brother. He's worried about you and hoped I could tell him how you were. Nod? He's alive? Where? Why didn't he come to seek me out himself? I think he's ashamed. He's a collector now, living in poverty in Ragpicker Square. He doesn't seem quite right in the head of me.
Updated my journal.
He was a bit touched, even as a child, when his name was Thotis. Oh, I've missed him so. Ashamed, though? Ha! My own work's no more proud. Oh, well, at least I'm doing well for myself. For a hiver, at any rate, eh? I must visit him soon. He looks at you closely for the first time since you've spoken. Are ye a friend of Nod's, or of a sort? Yes. Why? Could you... She frowns, biting her lip as if considering something. Could you give this to him? He steps closer to you and offers a pouch of what looks to be about 100 coppers. Yes, I swear I'll get it to him.
Updated my journal.
He hands you the pouch. Thank ye. Go speak to Nod for me, and tell him how I worry about him so. I will. Farewell.
Done.
Candrian stands as you approach him. The Tooth Woman wanted you to have these, he says, holding out his hand. He wanted to express her thanks, even out the balance book, as it were, and be done with the damn things. In the palm of his hand are Ingress's dancing teeth, and he smoothly deposits them into your hand. Enjoy them, Seeker. Farewell.
Updated my journal.
This time Drusilla seems slightly more lively. Okay. Oh.
All right.
Damn it. Conscious folly. Damn it.
I'm gone.
You again. Okay. Hmm.
All right.
Barking wilder. This wild-eyed man is hunched over, snarling and giving low growls. Looks like he hasn't trimmed his hair in years. It's so long it forms a veil over his eyes. He has a long, stringy mustache caked with grease and sweat, and the tips of the mustache droop so much that they have become tangled in his ragged beard. Greetings. As you're about to speak, Anna grabs you and hisses, "Are you daft?" Air another word to that one. One of the starved dogs he is. She lowers her voice. A chaosman. Army, dangerous, thick as flies they are, and more is likely about. Starved dog? What are you talking about? A hiver gang they are, and chaosmen to boot. She shakes her head, then pokes you in the back with her tail. Steer clear and watch your back with them, you should. I've tangled with them, and their bite is worse than their bark, it is. Chaosmen? They're a faction. They are like the Dusties and the Governors and the Sensates, except they don't have any rules or beliefs. Anna makes a corkscrew with her tail for emphasis. They're just cackled, cracked, barmy. Aye? She chews it over for a moment. Some call them Zausatex, but that's no matter to them. It isn't. I see. Let's go. You see July. He looks like he's sobered up since you spoke to him last. Well, look, I'd watch out. Craddock's angry and he's threatening to kill you if he sees you
Updated
again.
my journal.
July grunts. What a fool I was. I just popped out for a quick bite of bub, and the next minute, he grunts his teeth. Thank you for the warning. Just be careful. Farewell.
See that?
There's a handful of Ingris's living teeth. Apparently, they didn't want to go with her back to the portal to her home plane. They rattle amongst themselves whenever they are held close together. They remind you of a bunch of creepy ivory hopping bugs. Oh, yeah.
Hey, come on. Hey. 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 If I could part with it, I would. But it's a part of me.
Why not then? Just show it to me.
Done.
I found the starved dogs barking and penned 3 of them in the
Updated
dead
my
book.
journal.
The powers be not blind in their justice this day. The woman reaches into her spider-like hair and draws forth a copper earring. Here you are. A pretty bit it should fetch. This is worth 33 coppers at least, I'm sure. It belonged to one of me sisters, but you won't be needing it anymore. Farewell. Very well. Farewell, Sevtai.
All right.
Nod. There you are. Someone comes to speaks to Nod, aye. Suddenly breaks into a fit of hacking coughs and nods to himself. I spoke to your sister Amaris. You did? Nod's so happy he is. How's Nod's sister? Tell him of Amaris. Tell Nod, please. His excitement sets off a long series of hacking coughs. When he can finally speak again, he asks, Is Nod's sister still pretty? So pretty? Yes, she is. She's a prostitute now in the hive. She's doing well and is worried for you. Nod's so pleased to know his sister is all right. He looks as if he's going to cry for a moment, then swallows hard. Anything more? Anything more? She said for Nod to hear. Yes, she wanted you to have these copper commons. She will also visit you as soon as she can find the time.
Updated my journal.
Nod's head stops nodding abruptly, and his jaw drops as you hand him the 100 coins. Beneath the dirt brown hood, his eyes gleam with joy. Such wonderful news it is. Good, wonderful news, aye. Nod thanks ye, and thanks ye again, and thanks ye 1,000 times more, aye. Glad I could help. Farewell, Nod. Hey there, girl. Yeah, she's hopped onto the desk.
I'm gone.
Hey, girl. Hey. Keeps. You can't crowd me like this, girl.
All right.
Da, what happened? Who did this to you?
Aye? Aye? What is it you want then?
Anna, do you know how Farad died? She shakes her head. I don't know. No one with half a mind would. Farad got a long shadow, he does. Across him. And you end up getting the stick, you will. You don't have to accompany anymore, Anna. If you need to stay with the Bird Village, Nay, Anna interrupts you. I don't need to be in the village, and I was wondering what I'd do if Farad got penned in the dead book. I was. She snorts. Oh well, he's probably mounting someone's wall in the hells, he is. But he's your father, don't you? Not be real. Da. He wasn't. Her eyes take on a hard look. He was greedy and he was stupid and he was selfish and he was weak. He frowns, and now he's dead. And that's all. Let's move on then.
Why not?
This simple bronze sphere is about a foot across, but it is surprisingly light, as if hollow inside. Examine the sphere. Although its basic appearance is normal enough, this sphere somehow manages to offend the rest of your senses. The texture of the sphere, just the feel of it, gives you the impression it's an egg that's just about to burst open. Just touching it makes your skin crawl. To make matters worse, the faint smell of rotten custard emanates from it, and it makes your eyes water. Okay, how do I use identify? Okay. Right click. Hmm.
What's up? Yeah?
I'm gone.
As you approach the archway, it begins to shimmer faintly. You notice that Farad's crutch emits a similar glow. Touch the archway with your crutch. Its lantern sheds a soft yellow radiance. It doesn't flicker like a torch or candle flame.
I'm gone.
Okay. This is a good place to save. Okay. So, yeah. That's where I'm going to save it because I'm at 2 hours now. So, yeah. Oh, hey, girl. Yeah, she's just sitting on the desk, wanting to be with me. Oh, yes, you're a sweetie. So, yeah, that's it. I'll be back sometime later this week, probably Thursday, with some Elden Ring. We're finally going to be starting Leonie of the Lakes. So, oh, that's it then. Yeah. All right. So I'll see you all then. Everyone have a good night. Have a good Wednesday, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye bye.